Welcome to Thoughts with Tea. My name is Toyin. Today I have with me my friend Demilade. We'll be talking about African time and how lateness is so common. Would you consider yourself an early goer?
Well, I won't say exactly, but I would say I like to keep to time, most times.
How do you define keeping to time? Do you mean if it's starting at 8 o'clock, you're there at 8 o'clock? Or you mean if it's starting at 8 o'clock, you're there at 7:45?
When I was in Nigeria, I had a different concept of time.
Okay.
Generally, you know that if you get somewhere, the norm is you're not going to start early. And so you kind of fix about 10 minutes to
arrive late.
You know, when you're going for an interview.
No, interview probably should be on the...
When you go...
Did you go for interviews in Lagos State? All those KPMG type interviews?
No, I didn't. But then, trust me, when I was going for my visa interview in
that one, you better be early.
I got there about 30 minutes earlier.
Yeah. How about the definition of time here?
Now, I remember when I first came, I always had this, okay, I want to catch a bus. And then, I can be 1 minute late. Every time I'm getting there, and the bus is leaving already, or the train is leaving already, I'm like, okay, now you have to redefine your time. Always get there 2-3 minutes or most 5 minutes earlier.
Will you say that at this particular moment, to every place you're going to, you are at least 5 minutes early?
Yes.
And I know you, and we go to the same church.
Yes, I am early. The time I reach church depends on the train, and then when they bring us from
the Bahnhof to...
So you can't choose the church to judge.
Let's also count the fact that you're supposed to get here today at 12:30.
There was no bus.
12:25 when I called you,
there was no
just
bus
leaving the train station.
There was no bus for me to come.
People that are always on time always factor that into making sure that they arrive on time. If it's a birthday party, it's even something very casual, you would keep it 5 minutes earlier.
If it's a party, different activities for different... Because if I'm going to a party, I don't expect to start with them.
Okay, but I know people that expect to start with them. Actually, I know people that would be there before them.
If it's a party, I don't think I want to start. I would rather get there, like, if it's just a casual party, I'd rather get there when the whole thing is going. Recently, I was at a party and it was a Nigerian party. And then the party was stated for, I think, 7 or 8 or whatever. PM, and then I got there around 8:30, and they had not started. Waited almost an hour before they started again.
This is usual.
Exactly. Everyone expects that.
Everyone would be late.
Exactly.
So everyone comes late. But I think this also affects us with work. Also affects us with interview. I did so many interviews back home. I invite 200 candidates for interview, and they give you time, but just forget it. Most likely you're going to start your interview 30 minutes later, 1 hour later, and this is a corporate interview. I think that apart from we having the culture of being late, I think it also affects our mindsets. For like, even for work. Okay, so for work, normally you should not be late, but a regular African that lives close to the workplace would arrive at the exact time, or at least 5 minutes later. And I feel like, so this actually affects some people's nature. Like, it gets to 15 minutes later, 30 minutes later. And these people that eventually go late, it's not like they really actually now want to go late, but it has already eaten into their nature.
At times I need to catch a bus or a train at, say, 10 o'clock, and make sure that I get there exactly when the train is about to move. Then I get to the...
Like, in your mind, did you plan that?
Nope.
I would get to this. You actually intend to go early.
You woke up and then like, okay, this is what I'll do. Okay, I'll do this. And then by this time I should be out of the house.
Because many times it's not actually the intention to arrive late, especially for serious things. But eventually you're like 5-10 minutes late, or right at the time. If it's 10 o'clock, you're there like 10:01 or 10 o'clock on the dot. And arriving there at 10 o'clock is actually late. If it's starting at 10, then whoever is the guest, the lecturer, is starting at 10, and then you're walking in at that same 10. You're distracting everybody, you're late. Like, if the train should leave at 10 o'clock, it's leaving at 10 o'clock, and you're just getting there. You watch it leave.
You would.
Train drivers, they're like savage.
Don't like you.
Sometimes
press,
they even see you.
You even press the door.
The door when they're still there, they won't. They're
No,
savage.
bro, like-
Many times we don't intend to go late. So what exactly is it? Because it's common, so it has to be a common factor. What exactly is it that keeps us eventually going late?
I think I would attribute it to just nature.
But what element of our nature? Because
I think first we grew up like this
so basically we learned it.
from maybe society, maybe from our parents. Because imagine as a child, something's supposed to start by 10 o'clock, and then by 10:15 your mom is just coming out, or your dad is just saying, oh yeah, oh, get into the car, oh, let's go, we are already late. We are already late. We already grow up knowing always knowing that 10 minutes we shall run to the car, and then we start speeding.
So that means we expect ourselves to eventually rush at the end of the day unconsciously.
Exactly.
Even though we don't want to, but some parts of our innate
just make
self
us
that has
rush.
been trained expects that we would rush at the end of the day. Do you think we can unlearn this culture?
Well, it's going to be hard, but then it's possible.
It is possible. I think it's possible.
Yeah, it's possible.
For me, I would say lateness has been like a major thing for me because I could go late anywhere. It doesn't even matter what it is. One time I decided, okay, I have to deal with this. I downloaded some books, ebooks, and I started to read to try to understand exactly what is happening. And I think I found out that the real problem was I didn't like to wait. Because if you arrive earlier, then you would have to wait. I tried to unlearn that and try to have patience, to condition my mind to start wanting to wait.
Actually, I have this problem of not liking to wait too. When you have an appointment with somebody and you say, okay, wait to meet by 6 p.m. And then you try to get there at 6 p.m. Even say you're 10 minutes late or whatever. The other person
The
is
other person is late.
The person is late. I feel stupid just standing and just doing nothing.
So I've been unable to unlearn that, but I've also been able to control myself. Like to control my situation, which is why you saw me with that timer the other time. I had to buy the timer to so if I know that I should be there at 10 o'clock, I plan to be there at 9:55. So I know that I should be there at 10 o'clock. I'm like, okay, 9:55, I will be there. I count down from 9:55 backwards. So I'm like, I need 5 minutes to dress up, 2 minutes to tie my shoelaces. I calculate the number of minutes I use, and for each event, I time it.
Yeah.
So I want to go to the bathroom. I take the timer to the bathroom. I'm like, I'm not spending more than 8 minutes in this bathroom. So when the timer goes up, I know Toyin, get out right now. And then I'm getting dressed. I time it. Okay, I need 5 minutes to get dressed. I set the timer. By the time the alarm goes up, I'm like, you should be done by now. Go and tie your laces. So it's that has been the only way I have been able to.
I think that's a good idea. What I do is like, before I go into the bathroom, I check the time. I have a routine in the bedroom, and so I follow the same routine every day. And so I calculated how many minutes it takes me to, except I'm doing something extra in the bedroom.
Yeah.
So I've conditioned myself, okay, you use so minutes in the bedroom. And so when I come out, the first thing I do happens to me almost every day is to check the time.
Check the timing.
So before I go, I check the time. When I come back, I check the time.
the
I think it's like a culture that you should imbibe.
Yes.
And so when you have this culture and this routine, you have this routine of what you're doing every day, trust me, you won't be late.
Do you have any final words?
Try not to be late. I mean, it's very important. We've heard of companies, we've heard of organizations that use this lateness thing to
let people go.
It doesn't hurt to be early. At least 5 minutes doesn't hurt. Trust me. So please try your possible best to be early. It helps you. It helps your colleagues. It helps your friends. It helps everyone around you, and it helps your reputation too. So please be early.
Okay. And my final words would be that I can understand your struggle if you usually go late. If you're Nigerian out there, being a Nigerian is not an excuse. The way you were raised is not an excuse. Whatever was learned can be unlearned. You should find exactly what is it about you that makes you late. I think from person to person is different. Okay, for me it's that I don't like to wait, and also the way I was raised. For you it's probably the way you were raised and something else in you. Just try to find that and try to unlearn it. Try to change that. And this one works for me, using a timer. Using a timer has changed my life. I put on 5 or 10 minutes for my exercises in case I waste time in something. When my alarm goes off, I know I have taken time and I should go to the next activity before I run late. You can try it. I hope it helps you. Please let us change our reputation out there, Nigerians and Africans. Let's try and be coming early. Till I come your way again, please follow him. He is your Instagram handle.
Demi Josh.
Bye.